We are live now. Okay, let me open this real quick. um, Welcome to the Greatest Self podcast. I am your host Mia, and I am joined with two special guests on our third episode of the season. I am going to open the floor up to our guests to introduce themselves and get a little familiar with them. So whoever wants to break the ice first.
I'll be nice. How y'all doing? Y'all see my name is Eggs, but I go by Ruby. I make music. I do modeling. Might catch me foods. And I really do a lot. And yeah, shit. 21 out here living, vibrating, going with the flow of life and everything. And the fact about myself, I'm tatted from like the head to the toe. You gotta really see me to see all the tests. And yeah,
Hey,
that's me.
hey,
That's me.
gang.
Yeah.
yo, yo. All right, our next guest.
My name's Jennah. I'm 23 and I'm from Orange, California. I'm a hair braider. I'm actually in my suite right now. Still putting it together. I just painted my walls this color. Just have to get some other stuff in here to get a little more comfortable. But yeah, the best upcoming SoCal braider out here. Braids, twists, locks, crochet, whatever you need done. I'm pretty sure Mia will probably throw my Instagram in the comments, or I'll put them in there myself once the live is done. Um, Outside of braiding hair, I like to roller skate. I like to read about self transformation type books. I'm super heavy on just uh, wellness and herbal supplies, and just making sure that I stay on my health tip, because if you're not taking care of yourself physically, then you don't really have too much of a structure, emotionally, spiritually, and emotionally. Outside of that, I hang with my friends in my free time, and I join stuff like this podcast, or um, go through for the open mic events, and just try to show up for my people and my friends in the community.
Okay, all right. It's good to get familiar with y'all. Y'all ready to get into this podcast episode?
Yeah.
Yay.
Let's get into it.
All right. So, our topic of episode 3 is getting to know our shadow.
Haha.
And I came up with this quote personally. I was like, our beautiful friend we call shadow. You know, personally, I feel like once you've mastered your shadow, or at least become comfortable with your shadow, meaning accepting your flaws, no dark entity can overcome you. How do you guys feel about that statement as far as the shadow aspect? And we're going to get a little bit more into like what is the shadow and stuff like that. But off the top, how does that statement make you feel of like you mastering your shadow?
I personally feel like getting comfortable with shadow it's definitely interesting, and it's not something that you can kind of like prepare for, because I feel like shadow is like the dark side. It's like the uncontrolled chaos, but it's still chaos. Like you have regular chaos, and like the the shadow is just uncontrolled because you can't really see it. So you can't prepare for something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And when you do
Mm-hmm.
start to get comfortable with it, I think depending on the type of person you are, um, you might like it, honestly, to be honest. And then you have others that are kind of just like, kind of just scared, or they don't really want to tap into it. And for me personally, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind dipping and dabbling into the shadow. I just try not to get stuck there, because then that's when stuff gets.
Ruby, what about you?
Me personally, I feel like the shadow, it's not as bad as some people try to make it seem. I've learned how to actually master my shadow side, and for me, my shadow is like the person that I lean on when I'm not as confident. Because my shadow self is very powerful. Like I've spent time with my shadow and my demon. So if anything try to come my way, I know to give it to my shadow version of myself. I know I get scared, I get timid, I get fearful. Then okay, snap, we got X Jigs come through. That's my shadow self that I created for when I'm not up to par in a way. But like
Mhm.
she said, you can't get lost in the shadow because it is very chaotic, and I kind of got lost in my shadow a couple of times. But luckily, I've learned how to master that deepness, that chaos, and turn it into something more beautiful when it needs to be beautiful. So that's how I feel about shadow.
Beautiful, beautiful answers.
Yeah, I like that. That was really good. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Like personally, me, I do feel as if our shadow is our friend. Like Ruby said, that we look at the shadow as just something that is dark, something that we should shut out. But sometimes it's healthy to operate in your shadow, not in a way where it'll cause harm to others around you, but just a way of feeling your emotions. Because we're, at the end of the day, I feel like we are spiritual beings in a human body. So we have to feel these emotions, or they're going to get trapped in our chakra systems and stuff like that, and, turn into other things down the, road. But to get into our next bullet point, why do we tend to block that side of our nature? Do you think it's pride, shame, or guilt?
I think it could be shame in a way because, like I say, society makes it like you have to be good all the time. You got to be positive, as they say, all the time in a way. So when you're not acting positive, when you're not acting good, you like, damn, like, I'm not living up to society's standards. So I feel like it's shame and guilt in a way. Like you guilt tripping yourself on something that society is telling you you're supposed to be this way, you're supposed to be that way, when in reality, it's two sides to everything. You got the yin and you got the yang. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Hmm.
Okay, for sure.
I
I'm gonna give you a head. I don't know if it's on my side or if it's on y'all side too, but I think y'all breaking up. I don't. I was probably on my side, but I wanted to give y'all the heads up.
no, I think I
But
hear you guys good. Sometimes you're going in and out, but
Yeah,
okay,
I can hear y'all.
yeah, okay. All right, for sure. It's probably it's just me. All right. Jenna, you continue on. My bad.
okay, now Mia's going in and out.
Yeah, me is you. Is your side.
Okay. God.
Mhm. Oh, she's completely frozen.
Oh my lord.
Okay, back
Okay,
in.
we're back. All right. Because oh my lord. You see, it's them people. See? Nah. Nah. All right.
It's them people.
So my bad. Yeah, my bad, Jenna. You could continue on with what you were about to say.
Now, can you do me a favor and repeat the question real quick because all of that shut with distracted just.
Okay. I got you. It was, why do we tend to block out that side of our nature? Is it pride, shame, guilt, etc.?
Um. Okay, I think. Well, yeah, I personally believe that most people block that out because of ego. I think it's definitely ego. Because I mean, when we come to life, like or just get put into this life in general, you you're kind of shown and you're told specific ways on how to act, on how to react to certain things, and how like how you should be or how you should get stuff done and how you should be going into school or how you should do your schoolwork. And how you should be happy every day, and just to how like as to how to have like a perfect lifestyle when that's not necessarily the case. um so I feel like that is definitely part of it, and then just the fact that like sometimes when people um start feeling something or get something brought to their attention that they're not necessarily familiar with, they kind of like to shy it away. And I feel like that's definitely something that's engraved in ego too, because it's something you're not used to. It's like, um, I don't know, it's just not familiar. So when you come across something that's not familiar, you're easily acceptable to going back to something that feels comfortable, something that you are already told what to do, already showed what to do. Basically, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I
Oh,
I
yeah.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
ego, like definitely ego plays a big part of it because in society we're looked to be this perfect person. You know what I'm saying? Did we lose Ruby?
Oh no.
I know. Yeah.
Why we drop it one by one? Am I next?
Yo, oh no.
It's
Yeah,
horrible.
hold on. We're having technical difficulties. Nico Dev in the back. Um, we are having technical difficulties. Shout out to the two viewers. You know what I'm saying? Every view counts. Okay, there we go. Let me put it. All right.
And then kick me straight out.
I know. Yo. All
Things
right. All
came in
right.
strong. My
I know. They was like, y'all should need to shut the hell up about this. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-uh.
Yo. Um, what I was about to say was I think ego plays a big part of it because the society we live in, we're so pressured to look like this perfect human being when we aren't perfect. We are imperfectly perfect, I should say, and we tend to push out our shadow side. And I could say that, yeah, I've done that because you want to look all perfect. You don't want people to see your flaws. You don't want people to see that other side of you. But sometimes, like I said in the beginning, it's healthy for you to operate in that way, you know. Um I and that goes into other things of saying operating in our shadow can self sabotage our blessings.
I agree. I'm a victim.
Yeah. How so? If you want to share.
um okay, so short story real quick. Before I got into this suite by myself, so I'm currently working by myself, like self-employed, don't have to listen to anybody, just pay my rent and do whatever I do. But prior to being here, I worked at a salon in Compton, and it was like a full running salon with a manager and a couple other people. But fast forward before that, I was strictly doing house calls only because I didn't have a space to work in. And I'm super heavy on like, making sure I'm doing yoga and like, manifestation and just meditative stuff. And just I feel like that's a way of prayer, for spiritual people, like meditation and manifestation type stuff. So I was doing that super heavy as far as like, I want to get to this place with my business, and I want all this I want all these clients to come in, and I just want my stuff to like take off already. And then as soon as a week would go by, and then like I start getting DMs out the blue, like left and right, talking about some, hey, can you do my hair? What do you charge for this? Or what do you do for that? And it's kind of like being in shadow made me look at these messages and these DMs and just like open, kind of just leave it alone. Like, cause like I
Yeah.
think me being in my shadow is like a state of almost like fear sometimes. So when I was asking for guidance on getting the blessings that I wanted with my business, I'd be stuck in shadow for like the longest time. And uh, when my blessings did start to run through, I was in shadow. So I wouldn't answer the call. And it kind of just, it was like a tug of war all the time, like a tug and a pull. Like, oh, you want this? I'm getting pulled this way, and then there's like, well, I'm pulling back because I don't really want this because I don't know what to do with it, and I'm
Mm.
nervous, I'm scared, I don't know where it could take me, um, and it was like that for the longest time, and I just had to let go and let God for real. Like I mean, I still self sabotage here and there, but with my business, that was the biggest self sabotage for me. Like just not pulling through for myself every day because I was stuck in shadow, just fearful, scared, um, and just sitting in it. It was comfortable. It was comfortable. That's all I could say.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
relate to that. I could definitely relate to that. Hello, Auntie. Someone said, how do you pronounce her name? Jenna? Or but um Ruby, do you have any like personal experiences that you would like to share? Or it's just like
That's cool. I share one. Dealing with shadow. I want to say it was 2019, and I went up for this modeling gig up in New York, and I actually got chose for it. But me at the time, like I had just cut all my hair off. I'm bald head. I got a fade. I got like purple and gold hair now. And I was just so scared at the moment. Like I felt very exposed. Like I was like, I know I can do this. Like I know I can go to New York and smash this. But then at the same time, like I was just holding myself back in my head. Like you didn't kind of restarted your whole life. You just shaved your head. Your crown chakra is just exposed to the world. So I kind of just held my back from it, myself back from it, and I didn't go. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay in Houston with my friends. I'm gonna, find another way to figure that out. And now that I
mm,
look back, I'm like, yo, I was tripping. I was tripping hard as hell. Like I was supposed to be in New York, doing what I'm doing, and I decided to stay in Houston just out of fear. And I was like, yeah, now going forward, I'm eating fear up. Like every chance that I get, like I'm throwing myself out there. If I'm scared, then I'm supposed to be scared. That means I'm doing something right.
mm-hmm.
You don't get nowhere being comfortable. Yeah, like in the same place. That's how you be complacent. That's how you time pass you by 30 years later and you like, damn, like I wish I would have did this. I could have did this. I should have did this. So that really just taught me like throw yourself out there. Like every opportunity, like I'm throwing myself on it. Like ain't no I'm scared of this. Like nah, I'm walking
Mm,
around kind of big now, little ego,
yeah.
but yeah.
No, we need some of that.
Yeah, I'm proud of both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I see the involvement. You know what I'm saying? Even if I haven't known y'all for years, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, aligning with people, you see yourself in other people. So it's just like, you know, kudos to y'all. Kudos to y'all for sure. My next bullet point would be sometimes we are unaware that we are operating in our shadow, right? This can happen due to subconscious triggers, unaddressed trauma, and projections, and many more. And honestly, like when I get triggered, I'll be like, I used to be tripping. I'll be like, what? Why are you triggering me? But to like understand it is more so of something that is being acknowledged to you, or something that's trying to be, well, make you aware of what is triggering you and what is bothering you, like, past trauma, unaddressed traumas and stuff like that. I guess, would that be the same question if I asked, like, were you guys like unaware of being in your shadow?
I don't think it's the same question. I feel like it's a kind of like another way of seeing it in a way.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys been like in your shadow unaware, like, since you're more aware of it now? Because with me, I know when I'm operating in my shadow. Like, I'll be honest, yesterday I was in my shadow because it was like this kind of opportunity that was presented to me, but it was a scam. So it's kind of like I was down all day. I was down all day. So I was aware that I was operating in my shadow, but like other times with me, let's say clinging on to something, that was me being in my shadow, but I was unaware of that.
Mm. Yeah, I got a recent story actually of me being unaware and then realize like nigga you tripping. So as you know, y'all don't know, but I just moved into this apartment. This is like my fourth apartment in like 3 years. And I was just looking around and I was like, yo, like I've never decorated a crib before. And I was like, well, why is that? And then I was like, it's not that I don't have the money because nigga, I'm paying rent every month. So I'm like, what is it? It's deeper than that. So then I got to thinking like this is something to do with my childhood. Like this is me operating as my inner child. Like I felt scared. Like what if something happened? Then I gotta leave. Then that mean I won't have to decorate. So then I'm like, yo, I gotta decorate the crib because I don't want to operate out of fear no more. Like that's me being scared. Like nigga, 3 cribs and I ain't decorating not one. Like come on. Like you gotta be bigger than this. Like if some do happen, then oh well, we just gonna pack it up and go to the next crib. Like I can't live in fear. So I'm looking at my crib like, bro, this don't even feel like a home. Like I gotta go to the store, go get a couple thousand things. Like I gotta feel at peace. I gotta give myself the stability that I need to reassure myself that nigga, you safe, like you good, like you green for sure, so I can continue to thrive and attract the opportunities and the blessings that are meant for me. So I started decorating. Like, I know you seen the TikTok me. I just went to the store. We hanging up paintings. We doing all that. Like, nah, we ain't scared no more. Like, we good.
Yeah. What about you, Jennah? Or
okay, before I even answer that question, can I just respond to her real quick?
Yeah.
So I'm so proud of you for doing that. That is so good because if you're staying somewhere you want to feel comfortable, like walking in there and like it's your space, right? So you need to make it look like your space so you feel comfortable. Like that's why I had to throw this paint on the wall. Literally, like on Saturday, I had to throw paint on the wall because I was walking in and it looked like dingy. And I was just like, this is not my energy. Like, I don't really like it. Like, it's affecting me. It's throwing me off. And then just based off you saying, like, even if you throw some shit up on the walls and you have to go like unannounced, like pack the shit up. It's yours anyways. Like just take it and go. But like at least the next apartment you move into, you have to have some shit to throw on the walls.
Yeah.
So either way, it's a win-win for you. But as long as you're comfortable, like that's the main goal. Like walking in and out of your house and feeling comfortable, like it's you. Like I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You did that. Yes. My shadow. I think okay, so back to my little hair story, like on my little come up into this suite. I didn't realize I was operating in shadow until like literally earlier this year. So I started working at that salon late November, and then not until January did I start realizing that like, oh, this is not a space that I want to be in. How do I get out of it? And then I was just kind of like backtracking all of like my experiences that it took me to get up into that salon, and then all the experiences that I had in the salon up until January. And I was like, dang, like I've kind of been working on like just like working in tunnel vision, like seeing this shit and realizing it, but I was so stuck in shadow that I was like this all the time. Like I was seeing stuff, but I wasn't like necessarily like trying to analyze or react to it. It was just like, oh, I see it, okay, but like on to the next appointment. Like keep going, just keep going, like and see where it takes me. And then on top of that, I was smoking super heavy every day, like in between clients, after clients, on the way to a client, like all day, every day I was smoking. And sidebar, I've actually been sober for like 3 months and a couple of days now. So I'm over here doing a damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah, love to see it.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't notice that I was operating in shadow. And then fast forward up until like literally now, I'm pretty sure you guys probably can't tell, but for the past couple of days, I've been super like low energy, depleted as fuck type. Like just and outside of being tired, like I have no social battery whatsoever. Like last night I was supposed to go out skating, and that's my favorite thing to do outside of doing hair. And right up until it was time to go skate, I was just like my mood just flipped like that. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to be in there. I don't want to do anything. And I was like, damn, like I must be operating in my shadow. Like once I started feeling like that yesterday, I was like, something's wrong. Or not wrong necessarily, because it's not wrong to be in it. I was like, something's off. I think that's a better word. Off. Something was off. And so yesterday I noticed I've been running around in shadow. So that means for the past like 3 days, I've probably been running around in shadow. And I still feel like I'm in there right now. And I'm like having that tug of war, like I told you guys.
Mm.
I'm trying not to let myself get pulled too far to the left. Um, so I'm kind of just sitting
In
in
the
it.
dark side.
Yeah, just sitting in it for real. And I took the weekend off, so I'm about to just like do some self-care and like recenter. Uh Probably like do like a full body yoga workout and go to the beach or something just to ground again because it's been a lot.
Hmm.
It's been a lot.
Yeah. And it's good that you said self-care and stuff, because what I'm about to get into is shadow work, as far as you being aware of, okay, I'm operating in my shadow, something is triggering me that is putting me in my shadow so I can address. And I'm gonna give the people a little definition about shadow work, which is working with your unconscious mind to uncover the parts of yourself that you repress and hide from yourself. This can conclude what the hell. This can include trauma or parts of your personality that you can subconsciously consider undesirable. And shadow work, I don't know if there's any proper ways to do shadow work. Everybody has their unique way of doing shadow work. Like my form of doing shadow work is journaling and then burning it. Like just releasing that whatever I'm feeling on that paper and then going outside and burning it. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to share just one thing that you could do for shadow work, the floor is open. If not, no pressure, no pressure. But yeah.
I
Anybody
share.
want to share?
I got you. So I really give myself a day. Like I know that
Mm-hmm.
the feelings and the wave is going to come, so I give myself that one day to feel everything. Like you don't have to be perfect. You ain't got to be up to par. Like nigga, if you don't got to go to work, don't go to work right now. But I give myself this one day to feel everything that I've been running from. Like feel my emotions, feel like everything, the thoughts that run across my mind, and really just figure out, okay, I'm feeling this way, I'm seeing this outcome, what I'm gonna do to fix it. Like, and by the end of that day, I've came up with something to help me fix it instead of just forcing myself to, yeah, okay, I'm feeling this way, I'm finna go to work, I'm finna get up and keep trying to do this the next day and the next day and the next day. And then I end up drained and like, damn, like what's going on, when you could have just gave yourself that one day to feel everything and see everything clearly instead of trying to force everything, force yourself to do this, force yourself to do that. So I want to say every week I give myself a day to just really just decompress, like, and just be like, okay, how am I feeling right now? Like really just face myself and face my demons, face everything, even the good, and just track everything. And I figure out if I need to come up with a plan to help myself to be better going forward so I won't have to face these things no more. Or if I can just continue to chill and just, okay, we're going to do this the next day. We're going to do that the next day. So that's like one of my main things besides the journaling, the meditating. That's like the best thing that works for me is facing myself. Because sometimes, you the problem. Everybody don't want to say you the problem. You the problem. Like, you the problem.
Oh, me. You want to point at everybody else, but it's just like
It's you. It's you.
it's you. It's you, honey.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
Um, I think when it comes to shadow work, like definitely reading and writing for sure, because it helps like calm my mind down. So that like when I'm done doing those things, I can easily assess what I'm thinking as to why like I'm feeling a certain way. Um, I really like to do yoga during shadow work too because with every breath and with every posture, a different like emotional sensor is going off. So like depending on what pose you're in or what type of breath work you're doing, there's some type of release. And I remember for I think maybe about like a week straight, I was doing like Kundalini yoga just to get like the energy to like just shoot up my spine and to give me that extra boost. And it's crazy because I like to do yoga with my eyes closed because it gets me really like in the moment. It allows me to feel everything, and not only to just feel everything, but then to also see everything that I'm thinking. Because when your eyes are closed, I feel like your imagination is a lot more vivid. Hence, like why you dream when you're asleep. But while I do yoga, when I'm trying to do shadow work, it allows me to see like outside of like what I'm thinking. It allows me to see what I'm thinking, and it's like a little like short story of like what's wrong. Like I'm seeing what's wrong, and then like while I'm going through the poses and the postures, like kind of like working it out of my system, I'm seeing ways that I could release it and ways that I could like at least fix where the problem is coming from, or just even like how to like assess it in a way to where it's not too chaotic. Because when you're working in shadow and trying to do shadow work, like if it's not something that necessarily only is going to affect you, you have to figure out a game plan. So when you do go to execute, it's not getting chaotic for everybody else. Um, but yeah, outside of that, definitely the breaks, like a whole day to do whatever you need to do. Like that is definitely essential. And I think that's something that I need to re-implement back into my schedule. I kind of just I booked myself up like crazy trying to like, remake all the money that I spent getting into this suite. And I'm burnt out for real. So this this weekend when I take my day off and I get to like reassess and look at what's going on and what's bothering me, and then like come back ready to have my plan set in order to where I can start tackling these things, or to where like they're not bothering me as often. I think it's going to be really beneficial, and I really just need to find that one day in the week again outside of like my Sunday to where I can just decompress, because it's a lot. And like I said, I do hair, so I'm working with crown chakra energy all day, and this
Mm.
on top of that, like major empath energy over here. So it's like it's really hard not to like tap in and feel all these people and take them home with me. Like I need to figure out like a little ritual
Take
or
them
something
home.
to leave them at the shop and like get rid of them. I don't
He
know.
said, "Take them home with me."
For real. It's been wild these last couple weeks. Like these people are going through it. It's therapy out the ass over here.
Yeah, it is. Times it's changed, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been feeling out of whack myself, and I'm like, is it just me? Like I asked Ruby earlier, I was like, is it just me, or am I feeling this energy too? Like, everything just feels all over the place, and I'm like, I
Like
don't know.
distorted almost. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's messy.
Yes. And I wanted to get into the types of shadows. If you guys have other types of shadows outside of what I named, you're more than welcome to add to them. But I said like addictive behavior is one. Ego, control, and wrath. As far as like, feeling anger. My aunt says she is too young to feel that way. Honey, you they be working. Jennah be working. Like she
Oh,
be
it's
working.
awkward over here.
Yeah. It's hard for her to stop working. There you go. Yo. But hey, you gotta respect the hustles, you know what I'm saying? That's going
Thanks.
on. But yeah, those are the kind of like the types of shadows that I just wanted to bring to the forefront. They're known as archetypes and stuff like that. But another part of shadow work is the dark night of the soul. And this journey, that part of the journey is like the most heaviest, you know what I'm saying? Because it's what it's called, the dark night of the soul. It is a stage in development when a person undergoes a difficult and significant transition to a deeper perception of life in their place in it. this is enhanced awareness is accompanied by painful shedding. So, like, definitely personally, I just had a family member pass away, and it made me think differently. It made me think about life on a higher perspective because I just been hard on myself. And I don't even know why I'm talking about this, so there's a reason why. But it kind of put me, I think I'm going through a dark night of the soul right now because it's kind of like I feel like that transition of, okay, it's starting to be, I don't know, like, not unstable. That's a dramatic word, but I think life is trying to teach me something about just embracing it more and being thankful for what was and what is going to be through like the transition of my aunt, you know. um I feel like I didn't got too damn deep. Y'all like, ooh. nah, nah, but the light will always be at the end of the tunnel, is what I would tell people going through the dark night of the soul. If you guys want to share your experiences as far as you being in a period of the dark night of the soul, and how was that for you? Like, what was your perception change? Did it help you? You know, how can you say it evolved you at this point right now? Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think that I definitely hit one of those. Um, I think maybe like late February. Yeah, because that's when my grandpa had passed away, and I was just going through too. I feel like I was just getting attacked spiritually. Like it was just left and right. Like between the job and the people that were walking in and out of there, or the people I worked with, and then just the regular people that I had contact with, and then like just the passing of my grandpa. Like it was just all too much at once. And as somebody who's like self contracting and just trying to like get stuff done on their own, I already feel like more often than not, I don't get enough support from the people that I feel like I deserve it most from. And that's my family. Like I feel like most of my family, like particularly like my dad and maybe even my siblings, the people that I'm closest to, I feel like they don't show me enough support to where like I feel like I can do half of what I do by myself all the time. And it just hit me like I feel like a rock hit me in the face. Like it was kind of just like I just got everything came to a halt. And I feel like I had like 1,000 epiphanies in one, and it was just like, oh well, nobody's gonna come through for you like you come through for yourself. If you want stuff done right, you have to do it yourself. Um, and in this life, like you don't I mean, you're born alone. I mean, you have family, but like you're born by yourself. You have to die by yourself. So you kind of just have to figure it out by yourself. And I was just like, I remember sitting in the salon like late at night, just finishing an appointment at 12 in the morning. And I was just like, damn, everything's fucking falling apart. My grandpa just died. Um, my manager, who's supposed to be, you know, riding for us at the salon, making sure we have everything we need done so we can come in and feel secured at work, wasn't doing half of what she needed to do. And then outside of that, like just my family not giving me that support system and like just love in general that made me feel like I was doing the right thing, or that I I was on grounds to keep doing what I needed to do. Like gave me the green light. I don't know why I felt like I needed some type of um validation from them, but I felt like I really needed it at one point. But yeah, long story short, I sat in the mirror at 12 in the morning, and I started bawling. Like I was crying. Like I felt like life was just crashing. And I felt like that was my dark night of the soul. Like, just that week leading up into that breaking point where I literally sat in the mirror, cried for about 30 minutes, and told myself, nobody is coming to save me. Like, I literally have to figure this shit out on my own, figure out what the next move is. Like, everything is happening for a reason, and it's only happening to make me stronger. Like, everything, like every little obstacle that gets thrown at you, as long as you keep going, nothing can stop you. So that's what I was telling myself in the mirror. I was like, okay, well, Jen, like, this stuff's happening right now, but you need to get it together. Like, wipe your tears, get it together, because if you don't pull through for yourself tomorrow after feeling like this, then you're not gonna pull through for yourself ever. And after realizing that, and realizing like a bunch of stuff I had to do for myself to get out of the situation, I just I just did it, and I didn't look back. Like, and the bad part about it is that because I was in the dark night, and because it's dark and it's chaotic, like, in order to get back to where I needed to get to, best believe I caused some chaos. Like, I definitely caused some chaos. Um, and I had to be selfish. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I didn't like it, but half of it was fun. Half of it was fun. But now the repercussions of how people felt after, like, my empathic side, like, definitely went through it for a couple days. But that journey was rough, and it was really like, it was painful. It really was. It felt like damn near like your heart getting stabbed and probably taken out. I don't know. It's so rough.
Yeah, it is. I could relate
Mm.
to everything you're saying.
Facts.
Um. Oh, was he saying something? Were you saying something, Ruby?
Huh?
Were you saying something?
No, I said facts.
Oh. Okay. Did you want to share anything or?
Yeah.
Mm,
2019. Like you stated before, with the addiction part of it.
mm,
Uh, I used to have a real bad addiction. I was addicted to sex in a way, but it was only like to feed my ego and to feed the things that I would go through. So it would be like I would go through something and I was like, okay, let me go have sex to really just kind of combat whatever I'm going through, to show like, yeah, I'm in control of this whenever things got out of control. So 2019, um, that was like a real time period for me at the time. My best friend of like 6 7 years betrayed me, and that like broke my heart. And then a female I was in love with for like 2 years on and off, she left, that broke my heart. And then my sister had passed, and I'm like, well, god damn, like you beat my ass right now, like, yo, come on. So the rest of my friends kind of went with him also, and shit betrayed me. And I was like, damn, like it's just me now. So what is about to happen? So I had to move back in with my mom's, and that's actually like how my spiritual journey kind of started, me being alone and in solitude. Like, I had to face everything and see how I contributed to the madness of everything. And within me, seeing that, like, being alone, I saw how at the time I was drinking like heavy as hell. Like, every day I got a Henny bottle, like, toting up, and I got a random female in my bed that I really don't care for. And I was like, okay, for the next 6 7 months, I just want to be alone. I don't even want to drink no more. I don't want no female in my face. I'm gonna just face everything that I need to face. And that was like the most heartbreaking thing. Like, that changed me a lot. Like, it shaped my whole reality now, to where I'm okay with being alone. But like, I'm just so used to having like this group, this team, the old lover. I was just so used to that. So I would always go back to that and back to who I was when dealing with these people. But then, like, me being alone showed me that I'm better, the person that I am now. Like, I can stand on my own 2 feet without this and that and the females, and I ain't drinking no more like that ever again in life. So that was like a real crazy time period for me, but it really just opened my eyes to a lot of things and showed me what I needed to see, and kind of actually helped me grow in a way to where I was able to, forgive people for their betrayal. Like, you never gonna be in my life again, but I forgive you for that. Like, we all here, we gonna mess up. Maybe it was meant for you to betray me so I can become my higher self. So yeah, that was a real crazy time period right there.
And kudos to both of you guys. Y'all still here, y'all still going, and that's what matters. You know what I'm saying? On the journey, you just can't stop. You gotta keep going because what once was doesn't define you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It doesn't define the now. And I'm glad that you guys are being transparent and open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate y'all for that. And my next bullet point, but I think you guys already like kind of addressed it, was like, what was one strength that you discovered during your shadow period? And like, personally with me, it would be the same thing as what you guys said, that you know I am capable to, you know what I'm saying, get myself out of this. I am strong enough to carry my own weight, but also release the baggage that is not needed anymore. you know so that was just like one strength that I discovered within myself. um if you guys have a strength, or it's just like we already told our strength, it's just like
I,
Yeah.
I I would agree with you. I think that's the hardest part about being in that, or being in any like type of shadow. Like, the strongest part about it is that bounce back for real.
Yeah. I agree. The ability to get back up, after you've lost everything or what you thought was everything, and rebuild and get it back. I've done that a lot. I was literally like just living in a garage 2 months ago, and that was like another. I'm always going through some type of transformation, which is crazy, but I just deal with it. Like, getting everything back. Like, I can stand on my 2 feet at any time. If I was to lose it all today, I'll have it again tomorrow. So that's really like a strength of the bounce back, the comeback, doing
Mhm.
things smarter and realizing what you need to fix within, so the same shit won't keep happening, going through cycles.
Mhm. And to just like end off our episode, would you guys like to share any advice to the collective that is going through a shadow period or the dark night of the soul?
Um, I would like to say take things one day at a time. Um, don't try to rush it. Like, don't try to rush to become this version of yourself. Because I know, like, the healing journey is like kind of popular right now, and everybody always have this person that they want to show the world, to where people think that it's just an overnight process, when really you should just be taking shit one day at a time. I have this quote that I came up with: one day at a time, one move at a time. It's never late, but it's right on time. So don't try to rush it, and just be patient with yourself. Like, be patient with others too, because you got to realize that, yeah, you on your healing journey right now, but the next person, they might be operating out of ego or out of chaos or out of hurt right now. So learn to be patient with others, and know that you will sometimes mirror the person in front of you. So that will kind of show you what you need to work on within also. And something else, another tip to kind of help, like when you're going through it and you feel like you don't have nobody to talk to, you're not used to journaling. I actually pull out my recorder, the little recorder on your phone, the little app, and I talk to myself as if I was talking to, my higher self, or knowing that this kind of helped me when, some people have suicidal thoughts, so they leave messages or whatever. But this is just me showing myself like I'm going to get over this. So whenever I get over this, I'm going to come back and listen to this to give myself even more motivation. Like, I'm going to remember the time where I felt this emotion and I said these things, and that's just going to help me. Now that I'm up, I'm like, yo, like I really got through this. So whenever I be feeling down again, okay, let's talk to self again and realize, okay, yeah, we're going to overcome this, and we're going to be back to listen to know what we need to do better this time. So yeah, that's my advice.
Yes, I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like for anybody that's going through any of this hard stuff, because it really is hard. It's hard. It's painful. Sometimes it's exhausting. Um, just like just sit in it for a little bit, or at least give yourself time to sit in it, so you can heal. Um, and like they said, it's not going to take something that's going to be overnight. Like, healing isn't something that ever stops. You heal every day. You're going to be healing for the rest of your life, because stuff is going to continue to happen. um, and most importantly, you know if you sit in it and like try to heal whatever is causing you any type of suffering or dis-ease, um, then you can give what you're trying to give yourself to other people. Because I feel that when we do get caught in stuff like this, we tend to look outwards, trying to like fix somebody else's needs, or trying to give something to somebody else that we think that they might need, just to distract ourselves from what we need to give ourselves, because it's just, like I said, a distraction. um but you can't do that for somebody at like the most beneficial capacity if you're not feeling okay yourself. And just to make sure you show up for yourself every day, because like I said earlier, nobody's gonna have you like you have you, and you need to learn how to have you in this crazy life, because it's getting crazy out here.
Mhm. Yeah. Beautiful advice from both of you guys. This concludes our podcast episode of number 3. I thank you guys for, being a part of the journey, being a part of Greatest Self podcast. I know you guys are already doing great things now. So it's just gonna be even greater in the future. So I thank you guys for joining me again. I hope y'all have a blessed one. And this concludes our episode. I'll see y'all on the next episode.
All right, love,
Peace.
peace,
Bye.
blessings.
Love, y'all. I'm gonna